I work with people who have suffered with loss, and a lot of times we think that loss is primarily a death, and it does involve death, but loss can be for so many other reasons. I help people recover and heal from those and just clean their hearts out, because usually loss creates broken hearts. Probably the most impactful was the authentic disciple. Really understanding what that means. And if you do, then all those other parts fit together. And for me personally, what it was recognizing, I think it's easy as a Christian to call yourself a disciple. That's what we think we are, followers of Christ. But what's an authentic disciple? And that is a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week disciple. Total surrender to God in every way, in every area of your life, not just in the personal life, not just on Sundays, but business and everything else. And I think that just hit home and was so powerful to me about what that meant to truly give up control in all areas of my life and recognize that God is master over it all. I don't think we tend to think of business that way, because we have the way man thinks of business and the right ways to do business. When you bring God into it, it changes everything. When it's for God's glory, when it's for His kingdom and you're seeking His will in everything, and you understand that He's the owner and you are His hands and feet in that business, but it belongs to Him. It was transformational for me. I think it's something that I maybe understood personally, but not business-wise, and it's caused me to be more bold and daring. I tend to be a very anxious person and worry about things, and this has been a real test of faith to understand that it's not about me and it's not about being safe. It's about being obedient to God all the time, not selective obedience, but consistently. And as I look to God, as I spend time with God, and I talk to the owner of the business, He shows me what to do. And He challenges me to do greater things than I would ever imagine that I could do on my own. It's heavy stuff, and it's great stuff. It was a pretty miraculous experience for me, I think. I can say that now, looking back, but at the time, it was quite terrifying. And that was, as my business, because I was just building my business, I was doing other things as well. And I know what God told me to do for my business. It was very clear. And even though I wanted to do it, I wanted to do these other things because I wanted to be secure financially. And so I didn't want to give anything up. But as I sought God and was seeking what I was to do, because I was so overwhelmed with everything and I couldn't do anything well at that time because just the business alone needed all my time. And then I'm doing 2 other jobs. And as I spent time with God, as I was in the Word, as I sought wise counsel about this, I know that He told me, leave these other things. You have to show me. You say you're going to follow me. I told you what to do. Trust me. And I'm thinking, yeah, but, right? Yeah, but this isn't sure. Yeah, but I don't have security. And this was a real example of, do you trust me? Are you my disciple? Did you hear me? Am I the boss of this business? Are you going to be my follower? Does the Holy Spirit live in me? And am I hearing the Holy Spirit? Do I have that power of God, the wisdom of God through the Holy Spirit? And when you think about that, this is again an opportunity to live what I say I believe. And so even though it was really scary for me, I jumped off the cliff. And I just jumped in and I did it, and it was absolutely terrifying, I have to say. And it was amazing at the same time, because that's when I feel like God just released the floodgates. And all of a sudden, business started coming my way and things started growing. And I really believe that God was just saying, I was just waiting for you. I was just waiting for you. And when I am doing it in my own power, it never works. It never works. And what I've realized through this is that when I'm using God's power and I'm following His ways, we can do immeasurably more than we can ever imagine. And it's amazing because then He gets the glory. And that's what it's all about anyway. He's doing things that I could never do on my own. I take it really, really seriously, as I think a covenant should. And, my marriage was a covenant, and this is the only other covenant that I've made. And it is lifelong. And I actually found the whole process through this, going through the book, challenging. It really was challenging, and it wasn't something that I could do quickly because it asked a lot of you. And I think the covenant part makes you realize just how serious this is. And I was picking that up all throughout the book because we're being stretched continually through it, I think, and challenged. But then to actually solidify it with that covenant, that oath, that, this is irrevocable. Like, I am saying this is forever. And I can't just be led by my emotions. I have to be led by this promise and this commitment that I made, and to see it through. And to be able to live that way just demands that I have more intimacy with Christ. I have my ups and downs and my struggles with it, and God is so faithful to just, get me back in line. And I look forward. I'm glad it's made me maybe not run away when maybe I would have run away before, because I know this is forever. Well, I think if they want to experience some great things with God, I have no doubt that is certainly one of the things that happens. That's one of the blessings because of it. But I actually wouldn't encourage everybody to do it, because unless they're going to take it seriously, they need to know what they're getting into. And I think, not trying to scare someone off. We've talked about it at our groups about how we kind of see this as the Navy SEALs, right? And when you're going to sign up for the military, that's a huge commitment, right? You have to believe in what you're fighting for, and you say you're going to defend, and you are making a very, very serious commitment. But when you do the Navy SEALs or the Marines, that's even heavier, right? That's even more demanding. And that's what I feel this is. It's going to change the way you live your life. It's going to take a lot of discipline. It's going to take the spirit of perseverance, right? It's going to take courage. You're going to have to be a pretty tough person to do this, but the Holy Spirit gives you that if you're committed to do it. So I say go for it, but understand what you're committing to when you do it.